Okay, everyone. So now we're going to take a look at a table question and how to do a table question. The table question is basically a fill-the-blank question. You've just watched the video going over the strategy for a table question, but I will go ahead and repeat it for you. It's basically a fill-the-blank question. The table will always look something like this right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 questions here. Normally a table question goes in order, but just like you may have heard if you watched the other video with the diagram, it's possible that if 2 and 3 are in the same sentence or right next to each other, that you might find the answer for number 3 before you find the answer for number 2. So it is possible for a table question to not go in order. It's possible, but the vast majority of the time that's not going to happen. All right, so when we're looking at this one here for the table question, we treat it like a fill-the-blank question. We have to fill in. Number 1 is one method. Number 2 is another method, ribbon. The second method right here, ribbon. So what I would probably do is I would probably start with the second one first, because the word ribbon is going to be easy to find. It's a type of method, because it says right here, early methods of producing flat glass. Early methods of producing flat glass. So I'm going to look for ribbon, and then I'm looking for something that says could produce glass sheets of varying. So the answer for number 4 will connect to the word varying. Varying means like different, like varying sizes, right? And number 5, it says the glass was blank. All right, and then we also have 20% of the glass rubbed away. Machines were expensive. So number 5 most likely is going to come before this language of 20%, but 20% is going to be easy to find, right? That's going to be easy to find. All right, so let's take a look. See if we can find the word ribbon. Start at the very beginning. We see they're starting off with Mesopotamia and the Egyptians, so they're starting off really early. Oh, wow. Well, as we're scanning, we actually see number 1 right here. It says the first successful method for making clear flat glass involves spinning. Okay. So that's actually our answer for number 1 right here, the spinning method. Right? That's the first method. The first method is spinning. Early methods of producing flat glass. First method is spinning. Okay. All right, so I'll go to number 2. The glass remained. All right, see what it says. I'm right here in the first paragraph, everyone. I'm in the third sentence where it says the first successful method. Right here where you see that little hand on the screen. Right, always follow the little hand. The first method for making clear flat glass involves spinning. All right, our next sentence says this method was very effective as the glass had not touched any surface between being soft and becoming hard, so it stayed perfectly unblemished with a fire finish. This method was very effective as the glass had not touched any surfaces between being soft and becoming hard, so it stayed perfectly unblemished. All right, so our answer for number 2 is unblemished, right? Because the word remained. The word remained right here. You see. Remember, I told you with fill the blank questions, pay attention to the word before the blank line. When we're looking for number 2, we're looking for a word that means the same as remained. Because if we could find the word that means the same as remained, we'll know what the answer is for number 2. So right here in the paragraph, we see the word stayed. Right? Stayed is a synonym for remain. Right? So stayed, perfectly unblemished. Remained, perfectly unblemished. So our answer is unblemished. 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 I could write perfectly unblemished because it says I could write 2 words. Right? It says I could write 2 words. So I could write perfectly unblemished, but you don't have to write that adverb. You can just write the word you can just write unblemished. And finally, we're looking for something that comes after slow. So it's slow and then something else. You see these 2 periods right here, that little period right there and that little period right here. Look at the hand. The period, the dot or marker in front of the word slow. That means these 2 things are separate. It's slow, and then basically it's like and then number 3 is also something else. All right, so here's our synonym. It says, last sentence, however, the process took a long time. Long time is synonym for slow. Long time is synonym for slow. Was slow and, there's our and, labor intensive. So the answer for the next one is labor intensive. Right there, labor intensive. I'm in the last sentence, everyone. We see it right there, labor intensive. Labor intensive. However, the process took a long time and was labor intensive. That's our answer. And long time is synonym for slow. So you're seeing as we're going through these examples, how important it is to understand synonym language. That's really, really important. You have to understand it. All right, so let's keep moving down. We know the next part of the table deals with the word ribbon. Here it is right here. Ribbon. Right, here it is right here. The first continuous, now remember, if you don't remember, some of you guys have good memory, some of you don't. There's the word ribbon, and for number 4, it says could produce glass sheets of varying. So for number 4, I'm looking for a word. I'm looking for a word that means the same as varying. Right? Varying. If I find the word that means the same as varying, then I'll know the word, that I know the answer for number 4 automatically because it's connected. All right, so the first continuous ribbon process involves squeezing molten glass through 2 hot rollers, similar to an old mangle. No word that means the same as varying yet. This allowed glass of virtually any thickness. There's our answer right there. Any, the word any, is similar to the word varying. Any means like it could be anything. It could be 1, it could be 2, it could be 3, it could be 4, any, right? Any is synonym for varying. So our correct answer here is thickness. This allowed glass of virtually any thickness. This allowed glass of varying thickness. Virtually any is the same thing as saying varying, okay? So the answer is thickness. Thickness, thickness. And number 5, then we have nonstop process. And number 5, the glass was blank. 20% of glass rubbed away. All right. What was the glass? Should come before 20%. There's 20%. There's nonstop. Okay, so it has to be in between there. But the rollers will leave both sides of the glass marked. Oh, so the glass was marked. It will leave both sides of the glass marked. And these would need to be ground and polished. So the glass was marked. Marked. There's the answer right there. M-A-R-K-E-D. Marked. All right, so you see for this one, it went in order. Up here in this first paragraph, we had the information for the first one, the spinning process. And then in the next paragraph, we had the information for the ribbon process. So it went in order. And like I told you, for the most part, that's what it's going to do, except for sometimes we have an exception. All right? So that's our first look at the example for a table question. All right. Talk to you soon.